Hello friends! So today's video is a request from Jenn of Jenn's TNs. She wanted to see a comparison between a Cursive Italic nib, a journaler's nib, and a 1.1 Stub nib. So I asked her also what sort of color of ink she would like to see in this comparison, and she requested Kobe Ink's Sorakuen tea green. So I am going to ink all of these up and do a comparison. Alright, so first up is my Pineider Avatar, and originally I got this nib in a medium, and I had fun with it for a while, but then I thought I might really like something different. So I sent it off to Gena Salorino of Customnibstudio, and she gave me a Cursive Italic grind. It was also nice when I sent it off to her because as soon as I got this pen, I ended up dropping it nib first onto my tile kitchen floor. So miraculously, the nib still worked okay, but it was just slightly misaligned. The feed was misaligned, and it was so early on in my collecting that I did not feel confident about taking care of it myself. Plus, I was like, well, it's an excuse to get a custom grind, which I had been thinking about. So I shipped it off to her, filled out her form about what I wanted done, and she got this done for me. It's my Pineider Avatar, and it was a medium ground to a Cursive Italic, and this ink is writing nice and wet. And again, it was my first custom grind and my first Cursive Italic. I believe it's still my only Cursive Italic. Yes, and it is a little bit sharper. It's not as rounded as a stub, but I really like the line variation it gives me. And this Sorakuen is just laying that ink out so nicely. And I always really like how my handwriting looks with a stub or Cursive Italic. I feel like it elevates my handwriting. But it is much sharper. Next up is my Esterbrook Camden, and I got this with the journaler's nib, which is by Gena Salorino. And I got this one from Drawn Ghouls, and it was when they started offering the journaler's grind with the Esterbrook Estes. But I really wanted this pen, and I wanted the journaler's nib so bad, so I emailed them about it, and they said, hey, no problem, we will put a journaler's nib on your Camden, no problem. I love this finish because it's the composition finish. It looks like the composition notebooks. It's my Esterbrook Camden journaler's grind. And it is a bit more rounded, I would say, than the Cursive Italic. Like, you don't have to find that sweet spot as much as you do with the Cursive Italic, where like the sharpness might catch on the page, so you have to hold it just right. This one you have more range and variation. Width-wise, for me, these two are very much the same because they were both medium nibs. So I'm not seeing much difference like size-wise, except for this is a much smoother writing experience. Next up is my trusty TWSBI Eco-T with the 1.1 Stub. Eco-T, the 1.1 Stub, and nothing special done to this nib at all. It's just the TWSBI standard stub, but I have always liked how smooth it is. Like for me, this has been a fantastic nib. And again, I absolutely love how the stub ends up making my handwriting look. And it is slightly thicker than these two, being that these are mediums and this is a 1.1, but very similar look. And this one is just, it's very smooth. It doesn't catch on the paper at all. I've been using this for over a year now, a year and a half now, and it's a pen that is usually inked up. And again, this is a nice wet ink in it and it works really, really well. So quickly, I think I will just do some lines side by side. For comparison.
Mine is compared to the other two.
That is it. That is the comparison. The Cursive Italic, it is sharper and a little bit more fiddly. You have to find the sweet spot and not, you know, shift your hand around too much. The Journaler's Grind, it's much smoother, it's more rounded, but it still gives you that nice sharp look. And I really, really like using it. And then the 1.1 Stub is much thicker and again smooth. So that's how those three look together. I hope that was helpful, Jen. Thanks for requesting the video. I hope that was helpful, and I really like each of these nibs. I just feel like they make my handwriting pop more overall when I use them. That's it. Thanks so much for watching.